Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Labor Day. Today we have a special guest, so you might remember her from 2 weeks ago. If you didn't see the episode 2 weeks ago, we talked about ADD, ADHD, and anxiety. Obviously, we're on a back-to-school series. So we have Dr. Alex Fenley. I started introing.
Hello.
If you remember her from 2 weeks ago, if you didn't watch, you got to see that. Last week we talked about routines and chaos and different things to get ready for the school year. So we did a 4-part series of back to school. If you can get through all of our funniness, and I mean, we're hilarious, and some seriousness, and some stories, there's tons of tips and tricks. So this is our last episode in the back to school series.
Awesome.
I'm not sure what we're doing next week because technically this is recorded. So if you comment below, please tell us where you're from. One of us or somebody else or all 6 of us will, yes, I know there's only 4 here, but we will go back and respond to comments if you have different questions. So while this is live, still comment. We won't answer it verbally. We're recording it while we've got Dr. Alex here trying to maximize her time. She started at 1 video, last night it was 2 videos, and now it's been 3 videos since she got here.
Love it.
So she works in Montana and she sees patients.
Yeah, I do.
You do. So we get asked all the time, how do I boost my child's immune system?
I would say it's the number 1 question I get.
It's flu season, or it's back to school, or it's Christmas, or it's Halloween and there's candy, or it's raining outside, or whatever it might be. How do I boost the immune system? So we've got a little different take. We've got ideas, practical steps. We're into that, trying for that more. But how does the immune system work?
The immune system was designed to protect you, and you really have to change your perspective and learn to trust that. That's really step 1 with that. You know, we were just collectively talking here, when you're expressing symptoms of, you know, your body, a virus, you know, it's good for that to happen, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. You know, as a practitioner, you almost get concerned when a patient comes in and said, I haven't been sick in 7 years. That's not a good thing. And on the flip side, it's also not a good thing when they say, I'm sick 2 weeks out of every month. There's also something going on there. So my point is, it's very, very normal for you to express symptoms, you know, to boost your immune system. That's how it's designed to function. And one of the common questions I get as a practitioner is, what do I do to boost the immune system? Well, you have to take it a little bit further than that. It's not so much just boosting the immune system on a regular basis. You have to remove the stressors that are taxing your immune system. So for me as a practitioner, how do I do that? You know, we're looking at the food allergy test. The food allergy test is an immune test, and you remove, you know, 30 food allergies or 20 food allergies that
even
you...
two.
Even exactly. 2 big ones. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge stressor on your immune system, and if you're eating those foods every day, your immune system is constantly being taxed from that. So the food allergies alone, you remove that and you are going to function at a much more normal level. And then you look at also too, you know, a stool sample, there's a lot of bugs, bacterial infections, yeast infections, parasites that can be taxing that immune system. So those aren't the only tests that you can run from a practitioner standpoint in terms of removing the stressors, but that is step 1, and it's changing that perspective. Don't always think about what I can do to boost it. You won't even have to think in that regard of boosting it if you just remove those stressors and allow it to function the way it was designed to function. So
Totally different thinking.
Yeah.
Than all the natural blogs out there. You need elderberry, you need this, and I'm not against it.
They're great.
My kids have it. We keep it in our fridge.
Yep.
When my husband gets sick, I'm reaching for all my immune boosters. I don't have time. You know, man cold, right?
Yeah.
My husband's the opposite. It's crazy.
Does he truck through it?
Wesley, he trucks through it and then ends up sicker and then ends up whining. I
Then
mean,
he
so
gets
that's
the man
sort of the man flu, but no, he will go through it. I mean, it's not odd for him to go to work and puke 6 times at work. And I'm like, if I was your employees, I would be really mad at you.
He really trusts his immune system.
I think what stung me, like with the stool test, when you said parasites, we've had, my son tested, and he ended up coming back with parasites, and I can't believe how common it is, because I always think, okay, nope, this is like
I'd
an
see
other
worms
side of
in
the world.
poop, or
you would see worms, or there's tapeworms, or there'd be something, and like, it is so common and
see
like
'em
super
all
easy.
the time.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
all the time.
You.
yeah.
I ain't got no worms. You ain't got no.
But that's
Those two
a
got
good-
worms. Stay away from them.
I may have mold, but I don't have worms. But you know, if you have those living in you, it's very common for you to be exposed to those things on a regular basis.
Oh, gosh,
but if they're
yes.
actually flourishing in your system, that's a sign right there that your immune system is not functioning up to par.
So
Yep.
before you start throwing the camu, which is vitamin C, and the
Yeah, yeah.
elderberry, and all this great stuff at it, which is all good, and we're going to talk on some of those because we know you guys want to hear them.
Yeah.
You got to remove the stressors.
You have to. That's step one. You have to.
And speaking of removing the stressors, we've got to talk about subluxation,
yes, absolutely.
which is a fancy word for
A misalignment within the spine. Yeah. And to remove the subluxation, you have to get adjusted by a chiropractor. You know, you talk about you know, the nervous system is what controls all of that, and again, that's a stressor. A subluxation is a stressor on the body, and if you don't have that subluxation removed, you don't give your immune system a shot at functioning. So it's, again, looking at that Swiss watch. Is your immune system not functioning because of the misalignment in your spine? You know, is it another stressor? So you've got to look at that all of the organ systems work together, and you know, if you're not making sure that spine is functioning, or that nervous system, your body doesn't have a fighting chance. So very important. I mean, yeah, that would be
the first thing I do when one of my kiddos. So I've got 3 kids. You've got 4. You've got 2. You've got 1. 4 months.
Yeah.
First thing I do when my kids are sick, of course, is adjust the sick kid.
It's the easiest
But
thing.
the second thing I do is adjust the other ones. And I remember explaining to them, not that they don't mind adjustments, they've had them their whole life. And I'm going to be honest, even though Jace has had us his whole life, he's 4, and he's recently started this fear of adjustments. I
It
mean, I'm not
happens
going
all
to
the
pretend
time.
like we're perfect. What? You've been adjusted since day
It happens
one.
all the time. They hit. And,
Bribe
yeah.
him with xylitol suckers, it works. Anyways, why do I have to get adjusted? I'm not the one that's sick. Get in the car,
Yep.
because you're going to be the next ones that are sick. And I don't need 3 puking kids.
Yeah, sure.
I don't need 2. I don't need 1 puking kid.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're not going to get it. No, they're good chance. But I'm going to give them the fighting chance to get it and get over it.
Yeah.
I
Get it and
noticed
get
so-
over
Get
it.
it, or faster.
That's the
Yes.
biggest thing I would say collectively. My husband and I have been a part of the Wellness Way for about 5 years now, and I would say across the board, collectively, the feedback that you get from patients in terms of how they're functioning now from when they first came in is, my immune system is functioning so much better. My seasonal allergies are gone, which is a sign that the immune system is functioning better. If I get sick, it lasts for 2 or 3 days rather than 2 or 3 weeks. You know, they don't have to miss work.
Right.
That is a sign of a healthy immune system. Again, you can express symptoms, that's fine. You know, it boosts the immune system, but a cold should not last you 2 or 3 weeks. That is not normal.
I see that with Bella versus the boys. So Bella's 13, and when she is out, she's out for 3
Yeah.
days minimum. Like, school is, where is she? She's out.
Yeah.
The boys will get the exact same thing and be back. My boys, I've raised them from conception to be healthier and support their immune system. We're still going through, and we're working on Bella, and it's increased greatly over our years of being with the Wellness Way. But when she's out for 3 days. I will cancel plans 2 days from now. And people used to say, well, how do you know she's still going to be sick? Because it's just what she is. The boys, they'll puke in the morning. Not always, but sometimes. They'll puke in the morning and they'll be up that night. And it's just, it kills me because I'm like, oh, I screwed you up. I'm so sorry, Bella. But it is what it is, and I'm glad that we know.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's not to say it's always going to be like that.
No,
As
no,
she
we're gonna
builds her-
keep-
if you keep on
absolutely.
going.
Yeah.
And, you know, that we're all at different stages in our wellness journey. So
Yeah.
if you're just starting, if this is like you just starting, you're just starting to look into all of these things that we're talking about, getting tested, changing how they're eating with their foods and stuff, just be patient. You know, it takes some time, but you will see it. It will get better and better, you know. And I know so many people say, oh, when they're little, they're just, oh, they're so sick all the time. They're what? Okay, that's that whole change your perspective. Remember, immune system is built.
Yes.
It doesn't just
Yes.
Especially if your child is not breastfed.
Right.
Breastfed or
I mean,
C-section.
and now again, we all have different stories. We all of us have different stories. So there's no shame in where you came from.
Yeah.
If you're taking steps right now to do things differently, amen. That's awesome. And just watch their immune systems grow, every sniffle, every fever at a time, and like to see, you know, when they're little and it seems like, my goodness, do they ever get a break? You know, it seems like it's just one thing after another. And then like Faith, I mean, when does she ever have anything? If she gets something, it's just like, okay, she's got it one day and the next day it's gone.
Yeah.
Like it just be patient.
It's normal for kids to be sick.
It's normal. But again, like you said, mommy's intuition.
Yep.
If it's hanging around for like weeks, oh, okay, something's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means they need a little help. Something's,
Yeah.
you know, you need to get them tested, find out why it's not kicking faster.
Well, we deal with that with Jace. You guys, if you've watched the show before, you've heard me talk about trust your mommy instinct. But sick. Okay, I'm good with some sickness. I'm good with all of it if that's what needs to be there to build the immune system. But you're the only one getting sick, and there's 5 of us in this household, and it's constant. And we're missing daycare, and we're missing school, and we're missing work. So I come in, and we did a food allergy test. It helped somewhat. We're going to do a stool test. We're waiting on that to get back. So trust your instinct if you do see something. But we're not going to talk today about cures for, I don't want to say cures, natural alternatives. We're not going to talk about what to do when you are sick. We have a series of videos
bunch of
for that
videos.
already. Christy did, I think, a 6 or 7 week. The non-medicine cabinet series, so we'll take some of those below there on our YouTube. But we do want to, it's back to school, so if you are finding things before you reach for the Tylenol or the cough syrup or different things, look and see what you've got at home and natural, what you can do with no complications. But we're not going to touch on that today. But if you're just joining in, because this is live, so we're going to do something really, it's playing live, but really it's recorded. I want you guys all to let us know if you're watching the replay, which technically you all have to say replay because it's recorded. So we're going to see how many of you actually hit replay. So anyways, Dr. Alex just talked about how removing the stressors and making the immune system function correctly, that's the number one thing before you're throwing stuff at it.
And I really like what Christy just said about the immune system is built. I remember just 4 months ago when we were bringing a newborn to our clinic, and patients would come in and say, oh my gosh, I don't want to touch him or get near him, or they would cancel appointments because they knew that he was at the office and they didn't want to get him sick.
Expose him, yeah.
Yes, and I'm like, no, come, he needs to be exposed. Or we flew here a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, and people were just flabbergasted that we were flying with a baby that was that young because he was going to get sick. And he's exposed and he's being, breastfed. And so we're building his immune system right now. It's okay.
Don't build it now. When you're 13, 14, 44, whatever you are, you can't fight things off.
Yeah.
Build it naturally, and you can start fighting off some of these things that everybody is scared of.
And, I mean, building the immune system as a child is how you make those T killer cells that protect you from cancer later on.
Which we like to call Pac-Man cells.
The Pac-Man, that's a Pac-Man, the T killer
they're
cells.
probably like, why is she hello.
If you watch any of Patrick's videos,
So yeah, it's like a Pac-Man. If you don't know what Pac-Man is, then I just don't even know how to explain this to you. But it goes on the screen and it eats everything. I mean, that's the T killer cells. He's got videos.
Really? There are people that don't know Pac-Man?
I don't know.
We're getting there.
I gotta assume.
Oh,
We're getting there.
We're getting
Yeah.
there.
Wow.
I could have pulled the what's Pac-Man joke because that's classic. Bree would pull an age joke, but I'm not gonna. I know what Pac-Man is.
I don't.
You live in a box down by
No,
the
we were
river.
just in a small town in Wisconsin, and they had one of those old Pac-Man where you sit opposite of each other.
Hey,
with
every
the,
bar
like
in
the
Iron
table,
Mountain
the
or
back
Spread
table.
Eagle, literally the town is called Spread Eagle,
Yep.
has Pac-Man, so nice
awesome.
try.
I just learned it yesterday. My husband had to explain it to me. He's older than I am.
Are you for real, for real?
What?
You just learned what Pac-Man was yesterday?
I'm that young.
Oh,
Get out of here.
Someone have a pillow.
This is like the one time I get to be funny
This is
aside
a
from
bad.
Bree.
This is a bad. Lady, we don't even have an audience today to be funny. But we have an audience
I'm
now.
never funny.
She just snorted. I love it. But I'm fun. I'm fun. Fun. But that is a bad promo for the Wellness Way.
What?
You're supposed to say you're 56 and this is how you look
Oh.
doing the Wellness Way.
Yeah, I'm 56 and I just had a baby.
Eats a boy.
Eats a boy. I don't know where he is.
Had a baby, eats a boy.
He's
Come
with
on,
Ross.
you know that commercial. You're not that young, right? We had a baby eats,
Eats
a boy.
Yeah, I remember
Payphone,
that.
you know what payphone is?
No.
What?
A payphone? We're getting off track.
Wait, you don't know what a
This
payphone
is what we do.
I know what a payphone is. I thought it was a
Yes.
game.
Oh.
Okay, I'm done.
Squirrel.
I need to get back to serious talk here. I'm sweating.
This is what we do on the show.
I know, it
We
makes me
talked
sweat.
about a very serious episode 2 weeks ago. If you're just joining in, we talked about anxiety and ADHD. So we didn't really get a lot of interaction or funniness or different things. I mean, you want to make her sweat. I mean, we could pull out some of the stuff that we usually talk about
Oh.
on the women's show. No, you want to talk about immune system?
Ladies After Dark.
Ladies After Dark.
What was it? Afternoon Delights.
Afternoon delights or
Oh, and all the
locations
furniture.
and the
All the
furniture.
furniture options.
I don't. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Don't tell us you don't know what
Are
that
you
is, because you had a baby 4 months ago, and you're a doctor, and I know you know how those are made.
You're making me sweat. I can't talk about.
She's sweating. She's gonna be like, cut this out of the recording. We're not cutting this out of the recording.
Cut it out, Nancy.
We talked about removing interference from the immune system and why that's the most important part to get your immune
Yes,
system to
yes.
function correctly.
Absolutely.
But now you are doing all that, you're working on that, and you're heading into the school year, and you know they're going to pick up some stuff. And I would rather you guys use some of these different items than,
Yes.
say,
Yes.
emergency or whatever might be on the market.
Flintstones,
So,
vitamins.
what are some of your favorites that you're, that you guys use?
That we use, okay, daily. We do silver. We do My Community, either the capsules or the spray.
I got it. So I'm at your house. Oh, this was 2 houses ago,
2 houses
and I
ago.
remember she's.
Okay. Yeah.
So the
The
old
little house. The little house. It's the one the kids call the little house. It's so funny because it wasn't. It wasn't
and
the littlest, but okay.
she's going, "Where is Callista?"
Oh my goodness.
She's hiding under the table with the My Community bottle, eating
That's
it
Callista.
like candy. So
Like-
My Community, if you don't know, is
The mushrooms.
like
in the
12 to
capsule
15
mushroom
different
blend.
mushrooms in a in a gel cap.
And-
It tastes like dirt.
Yeah.
She's eating 'em.
eating them.
I mean, if you're gonna have
Why?
anything your kids can get into, why not?
And I'm
medicinal?
like,
Like candy.
oh, well, I guess your immune system
And this
boosted
wasn't
for
a
while.
lifetime occurrence. She used to eat these. I remember the first
like
time.
we went through bottles like crazy. And we're like, where are they going? Well, now we found out. So
Yeah.
she
You
chewed
wonder if
them and
there
everything.
was something that her body was. She was innately being
Well,
pulled to it. 'cause
I
she
mean,
was-
Jackson
honestly,
eats rocks. Isn't that some kind of
Iron deficiency?
I think
or
that
that's
might
a
just be a boy
1-year-old
thing.
putting everything
Yes.
in their mouth.
Yes.
So My Community, which is a mushroom capsule, we've
Yep,
got it on
mushroom
their
blend.
Or
website.
the spray.
If
We
we're
do
not
the spray
back-ordered.
sometimes, too. You know the mint one. It's always good before.
Yes.
Yeah,
school.
my kids
And
love
the
those.
spray-
things.
It's easy for them to take to school.
Right.
That's why I like it.
And then we always do the Chulo Megabiotic in the morning. Those are the things.
Is that
we
yours?
use.
Yep, my baby's crying.
Oh.
I can hear him.
Does he need you? Is he hungry?
Oh.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you want to go grab him and bring him on
Yeah.
the show, or do you want to?
My nurse is
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Oh.
We
Now
are
I'm gonna
real.
return breastfeeding problems. If you're not sure what we're talking about, we have multiple shows on that as well. What's that? We should leave that in for sure. So then the other thing we talked about, probiotics.
Yep. The
Yep.
chewable. They have the Megabiotic chewable. So those are the ones we do like regularly.
So the other one that I do regular. So we live in the Western Hemisphere, and 7 to 9 months out of the year, even
Yep,
if you spend
right.
every
I know where
day
you're going, yep.
outside, there is no way to get enough vitamin D. And the way our soils are depleted nowadays, I'm kind of backtracking for or pre
You forgot the
letting
baby.
people know. It's not yours?
Not my baby. My baby is still sleeping with Uncle Ross.
Oh, fantastic. But did it affect you?
Yes. I certainly
She's like, should we all make her feel comfortable? Like,
Doesn't that baby know that the recording lights are on? And that it's supposed to be quiet time in here?
It's not my baby.
That's your baby. She's like, I don't care, it's not my baby.
Not my baby.
In the Western Hemisphere, I know for us for sure, there's no way to get enough vitamin D.
Very true.
And the clinical level of vitamin D is some god-awful low level right now. Like
I know. It's
30
Yeah.
is a sufficient. When I'm at 30, I'm basically dying in a zombie. So vitamin D is a huge thing that I'm always supplementing with all winter long. I like to test us once or twice each winter, so I know where am I at.
Are you even deficient? What amount do you need to be
Yeah.
on? If you're taking, 5,000 IUs, sometimes that's enough for some people. And for me, I have to go much higher than that in order to build my levels up.
So when it's anything above 6,400, is it that it will pass through the milk supply? You have to be taking at least 6,400 IUs a day. I always take like 10 or 20. When I'm pregnant or nursing,
Yes.
I just take.
Yes. Yep.
So I
and
mean,
it's hard to. Yeah.
You know what? That makes sense because when I was pregnant and nursing for
Consistent.
9 years.
Yeah.
9 years.
I'm at
During those
4
winter,
and I thought it was
I got the winter blues. Like and so
Well,
I was
how-
always.
We've
taking
talked
it.
about this in different episodes, but mom's tired already, baby's
Oh,
not
yes.
sleeping, and then you add
Yes.
vitamin D deficient or mineral deficient in simple things.
Simple
So,
test, inexpensive to do,
Yeah.
and so
Vitamin
valuable.
C is a big one
Yeah.
right now.
Oh, yeah.
We're all into whole food forms, so Canu is a high vitamin C. Don't drink Florida's natural orange juice every morning to fight off the
Sugar.
cold. The
Yeah.
sugar and the pesticides in it are going to make you way more sicker than the vitamin D that you're getting.
That's another thing when patients
vitamin C.
ask, what can I do to boost the immune system? If you just remove sugar, that in
Oh my
itself,
goodness.
I mean, huge.
Absolutely.
And you think about every kid is eating sugar, all the processed foods. I mean,
Yeah.
We've got the stats out there. I think even in some of our articles of like just how much sugar will knock down
Yeah.
your immune system, and because they're especially around trick or treat season, they start getting loaded up on everything that they've collected from the neighbors, and then
That's
you
what
go
I'm
into
talking about,
Christmas and everybody's sick.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Doc has said it's not flu season.
No,
His
it's
doc has
sugar
said that.
season.
It's called
High sugar,
High
high
stress.
stress,
And
bad
it's-
eating season
Yep.
or something.
Yeah,
I mean, the
because
quote's
it's-
better than that, but I
it's
can't.
Halloween and then
Yep.
Thanksgiving and Christmas and it's just
New
a whole
Year's.
lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a stressful season.
Yep.
And then
People are eating out of the norm. They're not getting their vitamin D.
A lot more social events, so you have less control. Even if you do have food allergies that you're following, you have less control sometimes, and you need to be very aware of that, which that can be stressful in itself too. So
and you're indoors a lot. It's cold.
Yep.
Sometimes you're, especially with our sub-zero Arctic weather up here.
Yeah,
like
you don't
last
have
year.
quite as horrible
Yeah.
weather.
No.
No, it's beautiful.
Montana
over there.
winters are a dream.
So,
That's awesome.
in a nutshell, removing the stressors.
Yep, step
Obviously,
one.
step
Changing your
one.
perspective.
Changing your perspective.
Yep.
Think differently. Hashtag.
Yep.
Getting
Getting adjusted.
Getting adjusted.
Yep. And
Probiotics we talked about. Vitamin D, vitamin C. Medicinal mushrooms, huge for what's going on, and knowing your instinct. If you feel like you're sick, the worst thing is you do a test and it says you're fine. Your child is building his
Yeah.
immune system.
Yeah.
Great.
I
Sounds
like
good.
using essential oils too. It's a
Yep.
very easy way to control your environment in terms of diffusing, and then just empowering kids to be able to use a little roller ball
Yep.
or a self little inhaler. So if they can't be diffusing in the classroom, to have that in their pocket and teach them how to use it. And it's so simple. Or sending them with some little essential oil spray to wash their hands with instead of using
absolutely.
the
The hand wipes and stuff.
yeah, all of
Yeah.
that, just teaching them and empowering them, and all of that stuff is very simple, and it goes such a long way. Instead of using certain soap that's going to deplete your immune system, something that's going to help it too.
And I think we had touched on this a little bit.
Yeah,
a
the first
couple
episode.
episodes ago.
So that would have been. I got to do the math because this is recorded. That would have been 4 weeks ago.
But But I was talking about, a lot of teachers, especially like Faith had an issue with the soap at school. And it was as simple as bringing in our own soap,
Yep.
And
Yep.
I mean, honestly, if you bring it in and let everybody use it, I'm sure the teachers would be totally fine.
Absolutely.
They're a lot of times communicating with the teachers and letting them know, hey, so I'm just going to bring this in. Everyone can use it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? They'd probably be overjoyed. Like, hey, awesome. Healthier overall. Everybody is.
Don't be scared to ask. You've got to advocate for your kids too. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So if you have any questions on products, on different things you've seen, different things you can do for different items of, sorry, I was a little distracted.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. There's noise over there. That baby doesn't know how to use warning lights. But just let us know, and we'll come back and comment
Yeah,
because it isn't live. We
absolutely.
can't respond live.
Yeah.
But biggest thing is remove those stressors. Get adjusted.
Yes.
There is a chiropractor in every town.
Yep.
I mean, definitely if you're a Wellness Way one, you need to see them. But
Are you a
really,
little partial?
there is no. What?
Never.
I mean, what? But just get adjusted.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
A big thing we do too is like we do the oils with the kids, and then comfort food of bone broth, like chicken
Yes,
soup.
that's
Always going on in my house. Plus, it's really great for moms because you can make a pot like this. It's great for their little immune systems, and they eat for a week.
So, when growing up, we would have, you needed your chicken noodle soup when you were sick, and it was from the can. People don't realize why you are having the chicken noodle soup. It's actually the bone broth that you're after.
So
you
the
know?
Campbell's can is
No,
not giving
no,
you the collagen and the
no.
bone broth that you're looking for.
No.
It is so interesting as we were learning, as going on this journey, and you start learning, like, that's why it's been
Exactly,
passed down
yep.
from great grandma to grandma.
Yep.
All these recipes
See it
of,
circle
Yep.
around.
yeah,
Oh.
where you're like, oh, chicken noodle soup. It's not about the chicken and the noodles. It's about the bone broth.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
You can
Yeah.
buy it now. We know your moms and we know you're busy, or your dads.
You
Hi,
can
Dad.
get straight up bone broth.
You can
Oh, yeah.
buy
Yeah.
a lot of the little local shops in our area will make homemade bone broth. I love doing that. Love supporting that. Grab it. You can throw it in the freezer.
Yeah.
But you can even buy some commercial bone broths now that's going to be better than
Oh, yeah.
going
We found
out.
some high quality ones.
Yeah, than
that are
going out
frozen.
and eating.
Do you see they have the little drinks?
Yes.
The bone
Oh,
broth
yeah.
drinks?
Yeah, the
So
individual.
now I'm like, you know what? We're gonna send some of those, especially like at school, like if they
Yeah.
are recovering or something. You're like, here you go,
Yeah.
have that.
And if you do want to make your own, it's honestly the easiest thing to do. And it takes 5 minutes.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
it
and you
Yeah.
just let it
Yep.
simmer all day. And
I like it because I can
smells
use
yeah.
up things I buy an organic chicken.
Yeah.
Now I have this carcass or the bones.
Yep.
What do I do with this?
Yep. Yeah. There's not a lot of effort.
There's
involved.
Nancy laughing over there. You can't feed chicken stuff to your chickens. I draw the line there. I know people do it. I just draw the line. People do that. Chicken
What?
ruminants
What are
feeding
you?
chickens.
I'm like,
Feed your chickens.
I'm not.
North of
following
64.
this conversation. What? Feeding chickens to your chickens?
It's a
I
redneck
like.
thing.
I'm big into
Scraps.
big into using up what I have, because eating organic is expensive.
Yeah.
So when I have a chicken carcass, I can't feed it to my chickens. So instead, I can make bone broth out of
There you
it.
go.
Because I can feed other things to my chickens. I don't have chickens, but when I did,
I was just gonna say, like, you don't have
doesn't even
chickens.
have
I'm
chickens.
confused. Like, what do you?
I did, and I fed
Okay.
them strawberry tops, watermelon rinds.
Yeah.
People
Well,
say
yeah,
to
you
feed them
can-
their eggshells.
Yeah.
It's good
Yeah.
for
For
making
the
new
minerals.
eggs.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, but come on, that's like eating your own placenta. Just kidding. We actually lots
I'm
of
like,
benefits.
are we going there? Are we going there?
Lots of benefits.
Breeze repulse.
I am not knocking anybody that does it. If I could stomach it, it's kind of like cow
They
grass-fed
capsulate
liver.
it
I know
now
it's
to
fantastic for you,
here.
and I can't do
Not
it.
like the dude who made the pizza with it.
Yeah,
I eat it raw.
What?
Yes, I ate it raw. My
That is
husband,
up there
my
with
husband
reusable
cut it
toilet
up for
paper.
me.
I will probably do anything on the planet crunchy except eat my placenta raw or use reusable
All at
toilet paper.
once?
2 sittings. No, my husband cut it up into small chunks, and we froze it. And so I just pop it in, and I told Bree's really grossed out by this. So I told Bree, I like to just let it melt in my mouth. I don't. I swallow it. You can't even taste it, and it's wonderful. I just like to
Okay,
gross
I
food out.
know that it's good for you, and I know that
See, it's too crunchy for Christy. It's crunchy. It's crunchy, but it's
I could
awesome.
stop.
I wish I
Hey,
could.
Here's the deal. If
Is
Patrick
it?
told me you were doing this, you absolutely need to
I still wouldn't.
because it whatever, I would do it.
All right.
But he never told me that I had to do it. So
I kind
So
of
you're
want you to
off
have
the-
one more baby just so he can tell you you have to eat
Yep.
it.
yeah, are you on that train too?
No,
my daughter.
I'm done with babies.
No, everybody, Patrick, my daughter, like they're all like, come on, Mom, one more.
That's funny because Bella looked at me this weekend and said, if you get pregnant again, I'm done with you.
All right, you, Bella.
She won't let me have more babies either.
I'm for it.
You don't have to fill in when I leave.
I will ship Enterprises to you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining in
Yeah.
on our last back to school episode. Let us know if you're watching in the replay, which really means all of you because this is officially a replay. The first week we talked about something for back to school. The second we talked
More back to school.
we talked about foods and different things. The second week we talked about anxiety, ADHD. That was a really powerful episode. Probably one of my favorites that we've done in a while in regards to staying on track and giving different things.
A lot of great information.
Yeah. Last week we talked about different things you can do for calming the chaos, different routines and tips and tricks and fun little ideas. And this week we talked about, the age-old boosting the immune system.
Yeah.
So let us know what you want to see us talk about next. We don't have next week's picked out yet, but we are wrapping up our back to school series. Good luck at school. Happy Labor Day.
Yeah.
And anyone have anything else to add? Good. Awesome. Well, see you guys next week.